So welcome back to another video from Grounded, home of mindfulness, meditation, self-transformation. Today I'm talking about the impulse, the deep urge or the deep impulse for more in your life, and understanding what that impulse is, understanding what that urge, where the urge comes from, and that urge and that impulse is embedded in you. It's like a beacon light that once activated, it's your soul's calling. It's your soul's awakening. If you feel this impulse, if you feel this urge that you want more in your life, which kind of like on one surface can look like you want that dream life, but you're not really knowing what that dream life is, but there's that impulse to have that dream life. If that's like a real deep desire to have that dream life, then I can assure you now that that deep desire is actually your soul's calling. Your soul wants to know itself. But how that symbolizes it in our conscious mind is the dream life. But I'm telling you, the dream life is your own awakening, your awakening and your discovery of what you are. So if you have that impulse, then in the first instance is all you have to do is acknowledge it. Acknowledge that that's what you want. Acknowledge that you want more. Acknowledge that you want a life full of freedom, full of joy, full of contentment, however you wish to describe it. All you have to do is acknowledge that impulse. And if you acknowledge that impulse enough and continually acknowledge that impulse, then what actually happens is life begins to open doors for you. So, for instance, we could look at the fact, if you're watching this video, then life's opening a door. Life is giving you a calling through this video that what you seek deep down is your soul. Your soul is seeking to know itself. And I had this desire, I had this impulse. I mean, for me, it happened a long time ago, because I started getting into conspiracy theories and going into the New World Order. And this is very, very back in the day. This is like when I started watching Zeitgeist. And I think I was only 21 when I watched Zeitgeist. It was all about conspiracy theories, but something hit me. Like there was already a deeper urge, a deeper wanting to know myself beyond what I currently stood of reality. So the more I acknowledged that impulse, the more it led me down this path and through these doors. So like the first door was the Zeitgeist, like watching Zeitgeist movie, just like boom, like completely blew my mind open that actually just maybe that what we're told and what we're fed is not actually the truth, and that actually there could be sinister stuff going on behind. Now I'm not caught up in that and whether that's the truth or not, because I'm completely beyond that, but that's the point in which, you know, as you seek more, as your soul seeks more and the doors begin to open, this is what happens. Your mind begins to expand. So in that moment, Zeitgeist, my mind actually expanded a little bit more, where it was like, well, hold on, maybe everything that I am told is maybe not necessarily the truth. And so the more we act on the impulse, the more these doors open and the more our mind expands and expands more and more and more and more. And then we get deeper down the rabbit hole, because as I began to leave the Zeitgeist and the conspiracies behind, the next question that come to me, okay, if there's all these conspiracies and this is really going on, what are they trying to keep secret? What was being hidden? And then I started being moved in a direction that began to awaken my soul. So I had a friend that come up in the gym and he'd give me a book, Power Now. I was like, I don't spirituality, what's that all that about? But if I look now, there was another door being open. Here you go, I'm going to open another door, I'll give you another opportunity, which is going to expand your mind further. So I start reading the Power Now, boom, I start to understand this and I start to get it a little bit more. And then from the Power Now, I have a deep shift, a deep awakening. As I go through that awakening, more doors, more opportunities are presented to me for more understanding, more growth, more mind expansion. So this is what, if we follow that impulse, if we follow that urge and that desire in our heart, which is our soul's calling, the doors begin to open. Don't expect to go through one door and you go from where you are now to 5D transcended, like infinite consciousness. Don't expect that, because it's staged. It happens in a process. You can only take on what you're able to comprehend in that moment. You can't go from living in isolation, separation, and seeing yourself as an individual person into full-blown consciousness in one moment. Yes, you can have that realization, but the integration of that information takes time. So what I'm getting at in this video is, if you have that urge, if your soul has that desire, if you feel that calling within you, acknowledge it. Acknowledge it every moment, every minute, because the more you acknowledge it, the more that begins to unravel itself. You don't arrive at what you don't acknowledge. So my message in this video is to acknowledge your soul's calling, and then allow it to guide you, allow the doors to open, and you will find that actually the greatest secrets are within you. And the more you unlock the secrets and expand your mind and become more conscious and become more aware of the truth of this reality, then you begin to harness the ability by being in an attunement with that, by following your joy, by following what's right, by staying in alignment. You begin to automatically create your dreams, and then your life transits from where you are now to the life that you can't even imagine. And that's the beauty of life. That's the purpose of life. Honor the calling. Allow the doors to open. Till next one, much love.